Okay, so we are again going to start this poetry, that is television. And yesterday I told you about the poet, his family, his life. And here what the poet was focusing, he was focusing on the watching of television and how harmful it is, the watching of television for children. So here what is being said, this poem television is telling about one thing that poet is talking about children of watching TV set. He called television as monster. He also called it as idiotic box. Why it called as monster and idiotic box? Because it spoils the mind of children. They lose their imaginative power and they do not know what to do. Here, this is also known as, this poem is also known as a satire. Satire means like a kind of comical thing you want to express but in a different way. Means the comic is there but that is giving you a reality of something. So a satire means in a very, like not in a form of appreciation but in a form of criticization. You are criticizing someone but in a tone, in a slang tone which is not making them to understand. Like if a person is dressed up very well, but somewhat he is looking very like a kind of villager. But you want to, not to, you don't want to appreciate him, you will say, oh, you look really awesome. And you give a smile. That means actually he is not looking awesome, he is looking very ugly. But the way you, that is a satire. In a very comical way you give an expression telling something opposite. Okay. So here when the poet says this line that reading is important, read and read. Then he says, and then proceed to read some more. Great Scott, Gadzooks, one half their lives was reading books. Now he is giving the expression of great people and saying the people who were before, their life was spent in only reading books. They were not having this monster, they were only reading the books. The nursery shelf held books galore, books cluttered up the nursery floor. And the shelves, the nursery shelves, when you were like a very young age, class LKG, UKG like that, the nursery shelf of what? Full of books, fantasy. Full of books which helps you to or which makes you to read it. And in the bedroom by the bed, more books were waiting to be read. And when you come home, when you lie on your bed, on the bed also there were plenty of books to read. Such wondrous, fine, fantastic tales of dragons, gypsies, queens and whales. And saying when you were young, that time you used to read what? Different kind of stories. What kind of stories? Of kind of gypsies, dragons, queen, like that means that kind of king and queens, all kind of like insects, animals, these kind of funny stories we used to read, which gives us what? Which gives us cherishment, which makes us happy. And Treasure's Isle and distant shores. When you grew little bit up, you started reading about Treasure Island. Like there was a treasure in one, there is a story of Shakespeare, that is Treasure Island, where there is a treasure on one of the island and the people went in search of it. And finally they found out, like a big island and there one spot, there was a great treasure. So these kind of stories gives you what? A kind of imagination. Oh, if I was there at that place, I would be also going like this. So that kind of imagination comes to your mind. And here he says, these kind of beautiful stories, when you study, you feel so good. Or when you read, you go on to that fantasy world, you feel so happy. Where smugglers rode with muffled oars and pirates wearing purple pants and sailing ships and elephants. Again he is telling about more on stories. Where the smugglers, you know smugglers? Who through import and export, they do smuggling, taking out like things which are not useful. With muffled oars and pirates, you know sea pirates who rob in the ship and all. That is the story about sea pirates and sailing ships and elephants And cannibals crouching. Cannibals are the things which eat humans, human flesh. That is a kind of creature which eats human flesh. Crouching round the pot, stirring away at something hot. It smells so good, what can it be? Good gracious is Penelope. Now these things what the poet is telling, this is actually a part of a story book. And he is taking out the characters from those stories or the incident from those stories and telling the children or telling the readers, these stories are good to read. Where these characters are there, where these kind of suspense is there, where these kind of creation is there. So he is not telling about a particular incident or particular story, he is telling about different story. He means he started from the nursery rhymes. From nursery rhymes he started and slowly moving up to the different level of stories. The younger ones had Beatrix Potter. Now Beatrix Potter is who? Like Beatrix Potter used to write and used to read, write the stories of children. That is the author who used to write stories of children. He is telling about the younger ones at Beatrix Potter with Mr. Toad the Dirty Rotter. And what kind of stories the Beatrix Potter used to write? About Mr. Todd. The character of the story was Mr. Todd, who was very like dirty kind of person. Squirrel Nutking. What was the name of Squirrel? Nutking. Pigling Bland and Mrs. Tiggy Winkle and Just How the Camel Got His Lump. These were the character of the stories of Beatrix Potter. What were the characters? Mr. Todd, Squirrel Nutking, Pigling Bland, Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. These were the characters. Just how the camel got his hump and how the monkey lost his rump. What was the story about? How the camel got the thing and how the monkey lost his thing, what he wanted to get, how he lost it. These were the stories in Beatrix Potter's writing, what he used to write. And Mr. Toad and bless my soul, there's Mr. Rat and Mr. Mole. Now Mr. Toad is there, Mr. Rat is there and Mr. Mole is there. These are these are what? Animals. But it gave the name as a human, giving Mr. to them. It means Mr. we use for whom? For human being, for a male person. So the male name he is giving to the animals. What it will give, when the children will read it, they will be excited. Oh, Mr. Rat is coming. Mr. Toad is moving. Mr. Tiggy Winkle is coming. Like that, it will give what? A kind of excitement, a kind of amusement to the children. Oh books, what books they used to know. Now the poet again said, oh what books they were, what we used to read. So beautiful, so imaginative. Those children living long ago, and the children who used to read this book, they were living long ago. They used to read. So please, oh please, we beg, we pray. This line he is requesting to the parents. You can write it. This line the poet is requesting to the parents. He is begging the parents. Please, please, go throw your TV set away. Take this TV set away and throw it. Throw it. And in its place you can install a lovely bookshelf on the wall. And instead of this TV set where you have installed, at that place you install what? A bookshelf where there will be plenty of books. Ignoring all the dirty looks. Means all the dirty looks was what come from television. Ignore it. And put a bookshelf. The screams and yells, the bites and kicks, and children hitting you with the sticks. Fear not, he said. Maybe when you will do so, children will get irritated. They will jump, they will kick you. They will do all kind of like mischievous things. Fear not, because we promise you that in about a week or two of having nothing else to do, how long children will cry? If the parents tell you that I will not buy this thing for you, and you are very much interested, a bag you might have seen and you are interested. Father said no, not having money. You will be irritated one day, 2 days, you will not talk to your father, you will not eat. How long you will remain hungry? How long you will not talk to your parents? Finally, after a week at least, you will say, okay, leave it afterward. Because you are hungry, you want to eat, not even earning that you will get some money to eat. You have to depend on your parents. So one day you will forget it and you will think that my father was right, he is not having money. He has to teach us, he has to do my thing, he will buy afterward. You understand. But at that time what excitement you have now, I want. And that time you feel like anyhow I want. Whether whatever father, mother do, I want it. But slowly you understand. So here the poet is saying 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, children will hit, children will jump, children will cry, they will do all kind of mischievous things. But after a week or two of having nothing else to do, when they have no option left, what they will do? They will now begin to feel the need of having something to read. Daily they will sit there and they used to watch television. Instead of that, what is their bookshelf? 1 day they will avoid, 2 days they will avoid. After a week they will at least go to that bookshelf. And finally think, not watching television, let me only read. And one book that child will take out from that shelf. And once they start, oh boy, you watch the slowly growing joy. Here the poet is saying, and once they started, once they open the book and start reading, they will feel the joy, they will feel happy. Because the stories are so fanciful, so fantastic stories, they will start liking it. They will start reading it. To you watch a slowly growing joy that fills their heart, and that will give satisfaction to them. They will love to read. They will grow so keen, they will wonder what they have ever seen. And so much keen means so much observant they will become. They will like it. When they start, and usually young children like what kind of books? Which will have a lot of pictures. Okay, they love it. Lot of cartoons and pictures are there. When they open, they see this, they will enjoy it. And they will like, they will be observant. In that ridiculous machine, that nauseating, foul, unclean, and saying, that ridiculous machine means that television, which was only finding, which was only giving what? Which was only giving means removing the imaginative power of students, giving nothing to the mind of students, which was foul, which was unclean, repulsive television screen. And later each and every kid will love you more for what you did. And later what will happen? They will curse that television and they will love you more. Love you means to whom? To the parents. They will love you more for the good things you have done. If you remember the story you might have heard in childhood, one child was like, it was a story or something realistic, I don't know. But it was a child used to, when he grew up, he was in the jail of thieves, of being theft. He was robbing many things, and when the mother went to him, he said, "Mother, when I was a child, you did not stop me from robbing that pencil from my classmate. And that time if you would have stopped me, I would not have become a big robber." Okay, so it is the duty of our parents. If the childhood time only they clean you, they correct you. See, child, it is wrong. That time you will be annoyed, but when you grow up, you will understand the value of it. And you will never blame your parents. But when you grow up, you become very bad and something, then you blame your parents. Why in childhood when I did this, why you didn't correct me? Same thing the poet is saying. You may be thinking that this is all good. Watching television will give us time to do our work. But later on it will spoil the child. It will destroy his eyes. It will make his imagination dead. He will not be able to think. He will not become a successful person. But once you stop it and give him a bookshelf, he will read it. He will read, imaginative power will increase, vocabulary will increase, words knowledge he will get, and he will feel good to read, and finally one day will come when he will thank you for it. He will love you more, that what you have done, that was a great thing. So this way the poet tells, he ends up telling that this television can never be a substitute for books. No, nothing can replace the books. That is the fact. Whatever you do, whether you read e-books, whether you watch the book stories in summary in a computer screen, whatever. But what benefit you are going to get from the book, reading line by line, you are not going to get from anywhere else. So this way is saying television set can never substitute the books. So better read the books instead of wasting your time in watching the television. Is it clear? This poem is clear to you? Okay. Thank you.